Hi, could you tell me what you're paying for 90% silver, like dimes, quarters, and half dollars today?
14 times face.
All right, and that's the same for dimes, quarters, and halves?
Yes.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye. 14 times face. That is 14. If you take 14 and multiply it by 1.4, that is $19.60 per ounce. We have spot price right now at the time of that call at $23.60. That is $4 an ounce back of spot. But will all shops be that way? That's what we're going to find out today, because we're going to be calling coin shops around the US and finding out what they will pay us for our 90% silver. Hopefully they offer us more than that one. So let's get on the phone and make some calls. Make sure you don't miss out on your chance to win a full monster box of Silver Eagles by going to our sponsor sdbullion.com/silverseeker and get your entry today. Hey, could you tell me what you guys might be paying today for 90% dimes, quarters, half dollars?
Yeah, we would be at 16 times face right now.
16 times face. All right, I appreciate it. Thank you.
You bet. Thank you. Bye.
Well, that is certainly better than the first shop that we called, but even still, 16 times face, that is 16 times 1.4 is $22.40 per ounce. And as you can see, right now, spot is $23.70. So that still puts us $1.30 back of melt. So far, both shops are back of melt, and by quite a bit. Except for that first shop is just so far back, it's like not even funny. We have more shops to call though. But before we do, I want to remind you that we are not calling out individual coin shops here, which is why their voices are masked, which is why we're not saying where they are, so on and so forth. But remember, the importance of these videos is showing you the importance of price discovery. For example, if both of those shops were in your town, you would know not to go to the first one and instead go to the second one, or just look around, because believe it or not, there are better deals than that. And there are worse ones, which you guys are about to find out. So let's get coin shop number 3 on the phone. Yeah, could you just tell me what you're paying today for 90%, like dimes, quarters, and halves?
Do you have like a quantity?
Do you pay more for larger amounts? Like I have a lot. If I brought in like 1,000 face, what would you pay? I'm not saying I will, I'm just curious.
Right now it's gonna be, for small quantities, like 12, 13 times face, and then bigger quantities up from there. But we don't really give quotes on the bigger quantities unless you're in the store.
No, that's totally fair. I don't expect to sell that much. I just, since you asked, I'm like, well, maybe. So between 12 and 13 or 12.13, just so I can...
Between 12 and 13, and then up from there with quantity.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.
Between 12 and 13. Wow. I'm assuming 12 would be if it's heavily circulated, and 13 would be if they're really nice. Either way, that's ridiculous. Let's just round it out and say $12.50 per dollar. That is $17.50 an ounce. That is over $6 an ounce back a spot. We are not doing very well in these calls, are we? We really need to find shops that would be willing to pay us what this stuff is worth. This is clearly, as you can tell, I'm kind of upset here because this is clearly ridiculous. $12 to $13 per dollar for 90% silver, back more than $6 back a spot. Are you kidding me? All right, let's call some more shops and see if we can find something decent. My gosh. Yeah, could you tell me what you guys might be paying for like 90% today, dimes, quarters, and halves?
What we're paying for 90%?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. 17 times at the moment. 17
times. That is the best I've heard all morning. I had someone offer me 12 this morning.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm still going to make some more calls, but I really appreciate that.
Okay.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
All right. I know people, when they watch these videos, they say, why did you tell him he was the best? He's going to lower his prices now. But listen, that's on him. After hearing the one person offer me 12 to 13 times on the last call, I was just so excited to hear someone say 17 times. And keep in mind, 17 is actually a little bit above melt today. So if we take 17, multiply it by 1.4, that is $23.80 an ounce. At the time of that call, we were $23.50 something. So it's a little bit above spot. That is the first shop that we've called that's actually offered us more than melt value, but we have more shops to call. So let's get another shop on the phone and see what they have to say. Yeah, could you tell me really quick what you're paying for 90%, like dimes, quarters, and halves today?
16 times the face value right now.
16 times. All right, perfect. Thank you so much.
No problem. Bye.
All right, so 16 times is not as good as the 17 times, but it's still better than 12 to 13. It's still better than 14. And as we said earlier, 16 times 1.4 is 22.4, which puts us about $1 back of spot. So that is 5 shops we've called so far. So far, only one has offered a spot or a little bit above. Every other shop has been back of spot. We're going to call a couple of more shops and then wrap it up here. But I think you guys are getting the idea that right now shops are definitely paying weaker on 90% than they were, say, back in March, April, and May. So let's call a few more and see what they have to say. Hey, really quick before the next shop, I want to ask you a question. Are you enjoying this content? If you are, help me continue to grow by going down and subscribing. Over half of the people that watch my channel are not subscribers, so I would definitely appreciate that. All right, let's call that next shop. Yeah, could you tell me just really quick what you're paying for 90% silver, dimes, quarters, and half dollars?
What we're paying for?
Yes.
16 times face.
16 times. All right, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. All right, another shop at 16 times face, and we've already done the math, but again, that is $22.40 per ounce, roughly a little over $1 back of spot at coin shop number 6. All right, let's get one more coin shop on the phone, and then we're gonna wrap this whole thing up. Let's do it. Yeah, could you just really quick tell me what you're paying for 90% dimes, quarters, and half dollars?
15 times face.
15? 1 5?
Mm-hmm.
All,
Yes, 15 times face.
all right, perfect. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Bye. All right, so 15 times face is definitely a little bit lower than the last 3 shops we've called, but still higher than a couple of the ones we called today, which is still mind-blowing. 15 times 1.4 comes out to 21. That is $21 per ounce that they were paying for 90%, which is at this time $2.51 back of spot. All right, so here's the moment most of you have been waiting for, and hopefully you guys didn't skip the phone calls to get here because those were very fun to listen to, but if you did, thank you for watching anyway. As you can see, shops 1, 3, and 7, and specifically shop number 3, I even highlighted, were highlighted in red because they were below the average of $15.21 per dollar, whereas shops 2, 5, and 6 are in white because they are above average, but I didn't want to give them a green number because they weren't at melt or above. And then our only shop of all 7 was shop number 4, which came in at $17 per dollar, which was above melt by about 20 cents. And if you look at those percentage premiums, I mean, we had shop 1 at 16.94% back of spot, shop 3 25.85% back of spot, and that's assuming they give you $12.50 and not 12, or 13, maybe a little bit better, but either way. And then shop 7 11.02% back. But the average, looking at the average was $2.31 back of spot, or back of melt, I should say, which was 9.79% back of melt, with an average of $21.29 per ounce or $15.21 per dollar. And I averaged out the spot price at the time during the call somewhere in the 2370, somewhere 2350 something. So we just said 2360 was the average to get those percentages. So what does that tell us? Well, it tells us that selling 90% right now is not really a good idea, other than the fact that we are seeing spot price go up. But the premiums have really fallen, and what shops are paying have also really fallen because the demand has fallen. That demand will probably come back, but I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow, next week, 2 years, or 2,000 years from now. I don't know, but right now it's really a buyer's market. So if you're adding silver to your stack, as I said in a video that I did not long ago on the channel, 90% is a really good way to go right now. But if you're wanting to sell, it is not a seller's market right now. It is not a good time to sell silver unless you absolutely have to. So the last thing I'll say is, guys, did you know that my videos, as well as other YouTuber videos, have been stolen recently and used in scam ads on Facebook? If you haven't seen that video yet, you should watch it right now. I'm going to post it above. That's the next thing you should do. And additionally, just thank you so much for being here and subscribing. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and we'll see you next time.